Hi, you guys. Welcome to the next episode of Authentically Poochie, where I talk about what the hell gets on my nerve, what has gotten under my skin, and just things that's going on in the daily life while living in Raleigh, North Carolina. So, with this episode, I'm going to be piggybacking off of one that I posted, I think it was like episode 3 if I'm not mistaken. But on this episode, I'm basically going to elaborate on what I was discussing earlier about one particular part of my conversation, which was the fucking stalker guy. So it has gotten worse in a way, and I don't know what the fuck is his issue. So, for those of you who have not watched that episode yet, let me rewind for a bit. So, in that episode, I mentioned, how the guys here are weird and all this stuff, and they just always in some stupid shit, and they just don't really want anything real. And so, one of the guys who I was talking to for literally 10 days, never met him. I know his voice, but I never met him. We never met any place because it was 10 days. Don't get me wrong, I attempted to. It just didn't work out that way. We met on a dating app. And the motherfucker is crazy. And I don't know what's his end game. So with that situation, like I said, we were talking for 10 days. I kept saying, like, why don't we meet so we can get, like, all of that out the way so we can see where we're going. Whether it's me, us just meeting at a park or something like that, just to see, if we're actually compatible, like if the conversation is still there without us being on the phone and not seeing one another and blah, 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 blah. So, like I said, the name that he gave along with the only thing that was basically true was he is from upstate New Jersey or somewhere out there or whatever. I know because he sounds just like that. And where he worked at, which is Crabtree Mall. And so those are the only two things that were real. The photo he had, the name he gave, the phone number, everything was a lie. The phone number was a text now number, Google Voice number, whatever you want to call it. You call a number, it goes straight to voicemail. He'll still get it, but it goes to voicemail, so you can't directly call that person. He has to call you, and you know. And then I couldn't tell you. He said he stayed over there behind Briar Creek Commons. I couldn't even tell you because I had no plans at meeting him at his house for the first time. So, but it was just so weird or whatever. So we did, I did a little digging. I did, one thing about a woman that you need to always pay attention to is our womanly intuition. And if shit is telling you that shit ain't right, it's not right. Don't question it. Don't sit there and be like overlooking it. Don't be like, oh, it's that red flag is not red, it's green. No, that bitch is red. Run with it. And so that's what I did or whatever. So think it back to some of the things that we said, because I'm one of those people who remember the shit that you say. So think it back to some of the things that he said or whatever, as far as like how he describes himself as a person versus the photo that you posted. It just didn't make sense or whatever. So I'm just like, okay, something ain't adding up. So like I said, went to the job, asked for that person, the name and that you was given, and stuff like that. The person that came out or whatever, like I said, they said that, oh no, that person does not work here or whatever at the mall as an accounts manager. We don't have nobody here with that name. Okay, cool. Well, can you just have the accounts manager come out? Because I lost my phone. The accounts manager comes out and he comes out with security. What used to always crack me up is that I'll be like, well, damn, you don't ever want to meet or whatever. I'll just come to the mall and just meet you at your job. And he was like, oh, if you ever do that, then I'll just have to have security escort you out. And I used to always be like, why the fuck would you have security escort me out or whatever for me just coming to see you for 2 seconds? That don't make sense. So, sure as shit, he comes out the door or whatever. Like the people who I have, it's not me doing this task. It's someone else because he knows how I look. So I have some other people doing it or whatever to basically see what the hell he's talking about. So he comes out and he peeks around the corner like he's scared as shit. Like, oh my God, the name they're saying is, so he comes around the corner. Of course, security comes out. And what's so funny is this man is so short, fat, and bald. Who the hell was you going to put out, sir? Who was you going to put out? Okay? But that's neither here nor there. The guy who came out as security. But he comes peeking around the corner like, oh shit. So when he see who it was, he was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm good. So, he's like, oh, okay, well, we can go and check and da-da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, there's no fucking phone because there's no phone loss. We just want to know what the fuck it was. So, I had them take pictures or whatever, and I'm on the phone, and I'm listening to the voice, and I'm like, that's fucking him, da-da-da-da-da. So, he comes back, and he's like, okay, yeah, there's no phone. You can come back and check later, blah, 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 blah. But the name that you said, like, that's crazy. Like, they said that name. Like, they really told you to come back and come speak to that accounts manager? Like, he just kept drawing on and on and on and on about it or whatever. And I was like, nah, let's go, because I want to see these pictures or whatever. I'm gonna see what the fuck who I'm talking to on the phone, because this shit just is not adding up or whatever. So they already knew the photo that this person had up there was not the person that he was. So they're telling me on the phone, like, nah, that's not him. That's not him. Like, he doesn't look bad or nothing like that or whatever. He's tall, you know, heavier and set or whatever, dreads and stuff like that or whatnot. Smelled good, had pretty teeth, whatever you want to call it. But he was not who he said he was. And that's the problem. And I'm like, you could have presented yourself as you were versus you presenting as this person. So fast forward, you know, I said, you know, this is who this was or whatever. Like, the whole time I knew you was lying, like, blah, 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 blah. Please do not call my phone, blah, blah, blah. You said you was going to leave me alone anyway. Boom. Fast forward. I get a message like 2 weeks later from someone else or whatever on a dating app. And this person said, oh, no, I'm from North Carolina, never lived anywhere else. You know, I have family in X, Y, and Z, but I've never lived anywhere else, and blah, 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 blah. I work as a paramedic at Wake Med. You know, just all this stuff or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I was like, well, you know, I think it was like maybe day 3, I want to say. And I was like, well, I said, well, you know, when can we schedule to like meet in person or whatever? Because there's just some weird stuff going on around here. And I'm just like, not with it. I said, when can we, we can meet in person. Matter of fact, I'll call you when I get off. I get off at 9:30. Okay, cool. 9:30 rolls around, no call. I gave you till 10, no call. Now, in the back of my head this whole time, while I'm waiting for him to call, I noticed that his phone number, the area code, is a 201. Now, anybody from Jersey City, New Jersey specifically, because I lived there for a while with my father or whatever, knows that that's their area code. So I'm like, and this man from the Crabtree Mall, the guy who initially started this, he is from Jersey City, New Jersey. So I'm like, something ain't right. So I'm calling a number. He never answers. So I finally decide to text. And I was like, I was waiting for you to call me so I can ask you directly on the phone. But it seems like you know and I know that you're not going to call. I said, so I'm going to ask you this and I'm going to block you and I'm going to leave it at that because I know who this is. How the fuck you tell me that you from NC, never lived out of the state, but your phone number is 201? Your area code is 201. That doesn't make sense to me. You can't, I don't think you can go inside of a phone place and ask like your area code to be specifically somewhere else. If you can, cool. I just don't think that's possible. And why would you want that if you've never lived outside of the state? Like, that doesn't make sense. Why would I ask for a Florida number, area code, if I've never lived in Florida? Like, what? But then again, it is what it is. So I knew that was him. I cursed him out and I blocked him and I just let it be or whatever. So a few weeks passed by or whatever. Get hit up again on the app. I know this person is obsessed. Get hit up again on the app. Day 1 of us chatting on the app. I'm barely on there because, like I said, you find like a bunch of creeps. So when my notifications go off, I don't even look at it or whatever. Or when I do decide to check in and see what's going on, I'm like, oh, okay. So in between like us messaging, like I barely would respond back. So it would be like an hour or 2, 3 hours sometimes before I respond back. But when I come back, I got like a book of messages. Like, you're basically giving me, you know, you're giving me any question that you think I would probably ask. You already gave me the answer to, and you're asking your own questions. And you mentioned that you have a son who's just turned 14 and he's going to high school next year. Now, I remember the guy, like I said, from the mall, told me he had a son and a daughter, which was 13 going on 14. But in this case, this guy only had one. I don't know. So we're chatting or whatever. And he was like, well, you know, I'm really interested in you and stuff like that. Like I said, the profile does not match the person. I don't know why he continues to use other people's photos to reach out to me directly. And one thing about it that really irks me is that, why the fuck you taking so much time out to find me? On these dating apps, you can't just search up someone's name. You literally have to just keep Xing out someone until you can actually get to the person's fucking name. So why the hell are you so enthralled with me? I don't fucking know. But anywho, so we're messaging and I was like, I said, okay, well, I'm about to go to bed or whatever, you know, I'll just give me your phone number and I'll text you tomorrow or whatever. So he gives me the number and he was like, okay, thank you so much or whatever for giving me a chance, blah, blah, blah. So I'm putting the number in my phone, and I was like, your name, Dre, whatever the case may be. He said, yes. I said, okay, cool. Oh, what? So I'm putting the number in my phone. Now, one thing about me, I think I showed in that episode, is that I have everybody who I block, who I don't fuck with in that area, I have them as like a do not trust these niggas. I think I showed you this in the third episode, but I'm gonna show y'all again because y'all fucking nosy. But yeah, so I have them saved as that or whatever. So I'm like, I'm putting a number in, and as I'm about to hit add as like, the phone thing, I'm like, hold up. This number pops up at the top of my phone as in already saved. So as soon as I saw it, I look at my niece and I'm like, this motherfucker is still stalking me. And she was like, no. So she looks at her phone, because I did have her call the phone because I thought I was blocked initially when we first started talking, because why the fuck I can't get through to you, but you can call fucking me? That don't make sense. She calls the phone, and after she realized that, no, he's using a text now number, I was like, okay, cool. Or whatever. So she knew the number. And she was like, there's no way. And yeah, the fucker, and you can't give away your text now number, because this is not something that happened like months in between. This shit is happening, what, a month total? A fucking month total. I'm going through, and it's the same person, but you're using different people fucking what do you call it, photos and shit or whatever to reach back out specifically to me. And so I'm trying to figure out, what the fuck is your end game? It is so fucking annoying at this point that this man is consistently creating multiple fucking pages to reach out to me to say the same shit. Like, bruh, I'm off you. You are fucking weird, because instead of you approaching me and talking to me as yourself and seeing if you had a chance, you decided to create multiple fake profiles. Like, I'm trying to figure out, why the fuck are you consistently trying to reach out to me? Do you have the photo? Bring the goddamn photo. See, I wasn't going to post the damn photo, but I swear to God, I don't know if this man has a situation going on at home. I don't know why the fuck he is so enthralled with me. I mean, I will be too. But still, like, the fuck, we only talked. We never met in person. Even when I told him I would come to the job to see, like, just to say hey or whatever, just so we can meet in face to face, I never fucking did it. And the day that happened, I just fucking, I just sent them inside instead or whatever, just to make sure that, so he could come out. And I realized that it was fucking me. I was about to cut up, baby. I got too much to fucking lose. I'm not about to cut up on a man that's not my man. I'm not going to cut up on somebody I don't fucking know, because I don't know what the type of person you is or whatever. But my thing is, I don't understand why you are consistently trying to reach out to me. What was the name? Marquis Mercer or some shit like that. But I'm about to show y'all pictures of this man. So if y'all see him or know who the fuck this is, please tell him to leave me the fuck alone. I don't bother you, bruh. Like, I don't understand. Like, and like I said, he's supposedly an accounts manager or whatever. He's over like the allied services, security of the mall or whatever, from how I hear that he delegates stuff or whatnot. And that's all fine and dandy or whatever, but I'm just trying to figure out, why the fuck are you consistently trying to reach out to me? Not only that or whatever, like, once I said, bro, you don't think I know who the fuck this is? Like, I'm trying to figure out, why the fuck you still hitting my line? Like, why the fuck you creating multiple profiles to reach out to me? You're like, huh? I said, bitch, I'm gonna do you one better. I deleted my whole fucking account. You will not see me back on that fucking dating app. I can't do it or whatever. I've had stalkers after the fact or whatever, and you know if you know. But I've had stalkers after the fact, but never before. Never before. I know I got the gift for gab and my personality is one of a kind, but ain't no motherfucking way that you're consistently reaching out to me on other people's profiles. I wish I would save it or save the conversations, but I'd be so agitated and aggravated when I realize that it's fucking him. I'm like, bruh, you ain't got nothing else better to fucking do? You don't got nothing else better to do. His name is either Marquis or Marquis Mercer or some shit or whatever. That's his real name. The names that he's been giving out is not it. It's like Jamal King, Dre, Eric. Like, it's just so many other names that he's giving out. But it doesn't take me long to realize who the fuck I'm messaging. Baby, that's the gift of discernment. But I just don't understand why you consistently keep reaching out to me when I don't give you no reason to. I didn't say nothing. I didn't try to find out where you stay at. I didn't try to, come to your job and cause a scene. I have not reached out to you since then. So why the hell are you so enthralled with trying to reach out to me? So now the time that you take to keep Xing off of bitches, you won't be able to find me because I deleted my entire fucking account. And what's so funny about it or whatnot, the man never asked me for money. Never asked me for money. Never asked me to do anything weird or none of that stuff. Like, it was just conversation. And me trying to say, okay, well, let's go ahead and meet in person. Let's see if we're compatible in person. Like, if the conversation is there. So, like, you really got nothing out of that situation. So I'm just trying to figure out, why the hell do you still insist on doing that? Now you can't find me on the app because I deleted the fucking account. There was always a bunch of weirdos on that bitch anyway. But, you try to find one good needle out that fucking haystack. But no, they just a bunch of fucking weirdos. So my whole account deleted. You can't look for me. You can't find me. You can't. And before anybody is thinking or asking, that man does not know where I stay at. I don't know where the fuck he stay at. Never gave out my address. Never. That man don't even know what I drive. That man don't know where I work at. I'm just trying to figure out why the fuck you won't leave me alone. I really did not give you any other thought, reason, idea, process to think anything was moving further once I realized who you were. And then you didn't even have an explanation as to why the fuck you're doing the weird shit. You're just doing it. You supposedly got kids or whatever and all this shit. You supposedly got your own place. You're supposedly from Jersey City, New Jersey. Blah, blah, blah. Why? Why the hell you looking at me? I don't bother you. I don't even go to the fucking mall. Even before this transpired, we barely went. I think we went, what, 3 times? I think a total of 3 fucking times. I am not a mall shopper, baby. I'm Walmart. I don't do all that shit. The only reason we went to the mall was the 2 times that my family came down, and the other time we went to the Cheesecake Factory. And bitch, I'll go to the one over there next to JCPenney down in there at Durham. I will not waste my time to come up here to this one or whatever. And this one right here is about 10 minutes down the fucking road for me. But that shit there, I don't want to run into nobody like that. If I really wanted to do something, I already know your schedule. I already know where you work at. I already know what you do or whatever. Like, if I really wanted to do something to fuck with you, I would have. But I haven't. So I'm just trying to figure out why the fuck you still doing the same thing. So I hope this gets, to this fucker some way, somehow. I don't know. But I really just wish he would find him a new fucking hobby. Because there's no way you going through these apps and just Xing until you see my picture. And I know that's the case because I've had somebody else tell me that that's what they did to find me again. They fucking X all the women until they could find me again. And then when they found me again, that's when they tried to pursue me again. But he was who he said he was. He was just an asshole. So I cut his ass off. But I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this nigga. Like, god damn. But yeah, so that is basically part 2 of that episode of me telling this crazy motherfucker to leave me the fuck alone. Stop fucking trying to reach out to me under different fucking damn disguises and fucking people. There's nothing there for us. We're done. That's it. It was only 10 days. Conversation. Finito. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will be catching up with you guys later. Bye.